Happy Saturday. Early. A little earlier this morning. Got a lot going on today. Day before Easter. David the AM, your host. It's good to be here. Good Saturday morning. Early. Up before the sunlight. Got a bit up and down all night, but it's good to be here. Happy Saturday. Happy day, Americans, or wherever you're coming from. Patriots worldwide. Patriots helping Patriots. Yes. In a sea of crazy, the voice of reason coming your way, at least somewhat. From the banks of the Southern Fried River and Studio A, which flows lazily along the Georgia terrain to Studio B in extreme southwest Georgia. We come to you this morning on a Saturday, a little earlier than we normally do. In fact, quite a bit earlier. Wanted to get up and get going. Got the Mayhaw Festival today. Rob's going to be there from 10 till 3 officially, but he'll be there a lot earlier than that getting set up. In fact, he's probably there or almost there or going there, headed there, fixed to head there. One of those things we say down the South. He's fixing to head. Fixing to. We say that a lot. We're fixing to. Means we're fixing to get in motion. Head to the Mayhaw Festival. He'll be broadcasting live from there later on. We'll be a part of that and helping out from the studio. Was not able to go, but we all have roles we must play in this thing called life. And mine is that I will be helping from the studio and working today. Yes, working. It's always amazing to me. Some people, they don't have any kind of, unless you're retired, some people just have no schedule. I have a schedule. I adhere to a pretty hard schedule, work around that, hammer it hard, do a lot of shows. But there is that thing called work. And then sometimes work is outside of normal operation hours, and you must go and do things really early or really late. And sometimes we have to work around that. And we do our shows that way, or I do many of my shows that way. You figure out what works and when you can do it. And then you have your set schedule, which generally is pretty much online unless you're sick or something crazy in life goes on. You pretty much go. But some shows, we bounce around the schedule depending on how it's going on and what's going on. We don't pre-announce those too much because they're fill-in shows. They're shows we want to do. We just don't know exactly what time it'll be. So we wait. But then we have those shows that are set. Like our Monday through Friday shows are set, 6 to 7, generally. And then the night shows, which are 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had to change a lot of things. The early days, they were 7. We had 1 at 8, 2 at 7, and some others that were at 7, 6, all over the place. We sort of standardized it. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for us seems to work. Gets a little bit of the later crowd in. So we adjusted all of them. It just made sense, easy to memorize. Don't have to worry about the bouncing schedule. We still would come on early with things. We'll still do that. Did that last night. But we make sure that we stay with that 8 bells. It just seems to work. We notice the later on, the more people kind of come in later is different time zones. That's the thing about when you do podcasts, you're looking at what hours are the best. And sometimes you just experiment. You do something at a wild time and it sometimes falls flat. You still have the recording there. You might have 2 or 3 people show up. The other times you might have 200. You're like, whoa, okay, where do these people come from? It's finding that magic spot. So, but anyway, good morning. I'm not looking for that this morning. I just want to get up and get going, do a morning show. Do a little news, a little weather. Weather's real cool this morning. Well, it's like in your area. It's not bad, though. It feels really good. It's going to be about 80s, 82, 83. I think 82 today, 83 tomorrow, something like that. Beautiful weather. Gets down in 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, something at night. Depends on what's not. But soon, and very soon, it's going to be blazing hot. I don't look forward to that. But alas, that is summer. The coffee is good this morning. Speaking of coffee, the Southern Fried Podcast will have its own coffee blends soon. We hope as early as June. We'll be getting busy with this in the next week or so, setting up some vendors that will help with that. And looking forward to that. So we think through the month of May, we'll be getting everything set up and then shipping in June. So the Southern Fried, we got to get our logos and just stuff that we need to have ready for that. And moving out, we have our own coffee though. Love coffee. Coffee is one of those things that's universal right around the world. I mean, there's not a country that's like anti-coffee. There might be people that don't like it. There's no country that's like, well, y'all drink, what is that y'all drink over there? Coffee? Oh, we don't drink coffee. I mean, everybody drinks coffee. It's like water. I mean, everybody will drink water. I mean, some things, you can't find in certain countries. I mean, some drinks and things, it's just not found there, or it's very hard to find. Coffee's not one of those. Changes blends might be from different places. They might drink it different. I mean, some places you go, you drink a little small cup and your head explodes. there are those coffees, but our Asian friends have introduced us to some of those. You don't drink cups of coffee. You drink a small cup of coffee and you go into overdrive. It eats your stomach out. Killer coffee. But everybody likes coffee, Some might like Colombian better, Guatemalan, or other places, many, many other places that grow coffee in the warm climates. And some may like that. And they have their own blends. But coffee is universal. Everybody likes it. By the numbers. There used to be a magazine that come out from the Black Rifle Coffee Company. Those veteran-owned, veteran-ran coffee company. I like their coffee too, by the way. I love their names. The AK-47 blend. I used to buy that one. I still go if I'm in. I haven't brought in some of the containers of coffee of them, but if I'm in, and we may be in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, even tomorrow afternoon, as we're going to still try to get away for a couple of days for me and my wife. They have a branch up. They have a franchise up there, and we like to go in and get coffee. I'll probably buy some when I'm there. Instead of shipping it in, I'll just buy while I'm there and save the shipping because I'm gonna be paying for that anyway with my gasoline. So, but I like their stuff. But anyway, they used to put out a magazine. They still do videos, but they stopped the magazine. I used to love that magazine. Great stories. But one of the very early, because they really take their coffee serious, which you should. But early on, they had a series of articles about how we get our coffee. And I really enjoyed that. And there were videos that you could go watch, links within the articles. You just scan with your phone. You can watch from your phone and go there and watch these amazing videos of people in different areas of how it's somewhat the same, but there are slight differences depending on area, country, different things they do to get their coffee and how it gets to you and kind of where in the world those kind of coffees from that place generally goes to. And it was quite interesting. I really enjoyed that series of articles. I wish they still did that. It just got a little bit much for them to do. A lot of soldier stories, war stories, things like that. Recovering stories, people that are recovering from their wounds. I know that Black Rifle Coffee got on the wrong side of some things because they weren't all true blue conservatives. Some of them were a little bit more center, not left, but center, and it kind of irked some people. People kind of jumped on over with some other coffee companies, but anyway, the magazine was great. Whether people didn't like some of their politics, and that goes way back. They felt like they kind of sold out a little bit. I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying that was the talk at the time. And there's other veteran-owned and ran coffee companies, and we salute them too. We love the very patriotic coffee companies, and America First and all that. So we'll definitely be that. We'll definitely have a Patriot blend. In fact, we'll probably have the Southern Fried or the Morning Patriot blend. The Morning Patriot blend will probably be one of them. And with 55coffee.com, which is advertised on many Rumble shows, and we've helped to advertise for it with shows like Killer Carl's and things. And by the way, if you're going to order, it's great coffee. I've got some of the studio here, 55coffee.com I think they're out of Michigan. And I ordered some of it, and it's just great. But anyway, Carl15 is Killer Carl's promo code. If you're going to order some and try some, might as well get a discount while you're doing it, and it helps him Carl, Carl 15, Carl 15, 55coffee.com. They have a Freedom Blend, which I have here in the studio right now, and they have a Guatemalan. I haven't even opened it. It was a surprise in the package. Every time I go to make the coffee, I can't help but make the Freedom Blend. I love that, and that's the one that generally Carl advertises for on his show is that blend, and it is great. When I opened it, got the box in, I was telling my wife, I said, "Hey, the coffee's here." It was like an event, Hey, we got coffee coming in. I opened that box up, and as soon as that aroma, we didn't even open the package yet. As soon as that box was open, that aroma kind of, flew up in the air. My wife got a whiff of that. She's like, "I want some of that." That's when you got a great coffee. And I said, "Oh, what's this?" It's a Guatemalan blend. Anyway, my wife wanted to hold. You got to hold it, smell it. I said, "Oh, we can open it up." Oh, just open it up. It was like, oh, what a smell. She's like, "You going to make some this morning or this afternoon?" Whenever it came, I think it was afternoon. I said, "Well, I can, absolutely." Hey, Michael, Black Rifle coffee is good. Michael, you should try it. We'll have to bring you some sometime. If we go up there, I'll try to get you a little pack or something. It is good coffee, and they do take their coffee serious. They absolutely take their coffee serious. But they've got all these military terms. I mean, some of the imagery and stuff. I didn't take it. I mean, I took it to work, but I didn't show it because I felt like it might cross a line. They don't care, but it might be. I need one called Cornbread Bucks. There'd definitely be a breadhead blend or something like that. I'm still working out. I got to get with Rob, but I think we're pretty well got the 4 figured out. But Rob's got this crazy one. Crazy named one he wants to do, and I'm like, I'm not sure. I mean, the Uncle Jeb, but he has. I forget what it was. I don't have a problem with the Uncle Jeb blend, but it was like it's supposed to be like kind of blow your head up. But anyway, they had you could go to their website, the Black Rifle Coffee Company, and I have mugs from them. In fact, I need to get my mugs from work and bring them in the studio. Love their mugs. They're some of the greatest mugs. And that's a big deal for me. Now, I just got a cup this morning, but a mug is that creates an extra added blessing to the drinking of the coffee if you've got the right kind of mug. I mean, I want a mug I can hold on to, I don't have one right near me right now, but it's not a little dainty. I just can't do that. You got to hook 2 fingers through. I mean, I'm never comfortable with that. Maybe cute, it's nice for the shelf. I want one that you can hold on to the mug. I mean, and it's got to have the right kind of rim around it. There's some of them just, they're not, it really, it can either help or it can hurt. He hadn't mentioned that. Although I could see him going with it. Who knows? There might be a mystery blend like that or something. But, I would just call it, it won't be called this, but basically for Rob, it'll be basically the redneck blend. He won't be happy unless we have something like that. So I see, we still got to talk to him, but we don't, he's got this request. He wants pecan coffee. I don't know if we can I don't know if we can work with that. We may have to do that separately or something. I don't know. But I see us with 4 blends starting on, your morning blend, you got your mama said blend, which is a little, mid-level, the nice smooth, a little bit darker blend with a front porch blend. And then we'll have that crazy, the kind that, like I said, blows your head up. You take 3 sips and you're wide awake. You're going down the road. You don't need anything else. I was talking to this guy day before yesterday. We were talking about energy drinks, and of course, I do the Dubby, no crash, no shakes, and none of that. Oh no, there's no chance of that. I'm not doing. He will, I'm not into. I'm a very straight on kind of guy with coffee, and I doubt we'll even be able to. I ain't gonna say for sure. I don't know if we can find the pecan blend or not, but that's a little harder. That maybe have to be something separate. We work out a deal with somebody in South Georgia or something. But I'm not much into those kind of coffees. We're going to be straight on. You want to hit the biggest market, and when you get into specialties like that, it can, it can be. You got to find the right people for that. So, but pumpkin spice, no, it's just going to be a good Colombian coffee. So, but you can do things to enhance your coffee, or it not be, back in the days when I smoked cigars, it's the same thing. I mean, you could have, still love the aroma of a good cigar. I just don't smoke them anymore. But there are things you can do to have a really good cigar that really enhances that experience. Or, it's okay, but not as good. So same way with coffee. There's the experience of it. When we're on vacation, I love to just because of family, because you're all there together. Nobody, when you're at home, everybody's going in different directions. Good morning, Jake. Everybody's going to work or school. I'm usually helping with that while still in bed. But on vacation, I'll get up about the same time. Some are dragging up, getting the sleep out of their eye. You got to want to go to breakfast. You're trying to get everybody ready. It's like moving an army. But anyway, I'm always up first, generally when we go on vacation. And I like to go out first thing in the morning, every morning when we're on vacation, with a Bible and a cup of coffee. That's what I do. I start my day with prayer, scripture, and a good cup of coffee. And then typically by the time I'm about ready for the refill, here comes a grandkid with sleep in their eye. One of them will be up, and wanting to know where we're going, what we're going to do. But that's kind of how I start my morning. Jake says my roommate made sausage this morning and brought me some. Well, you know what? I'd say that's a good roommate. If you're getting made some sausage, I'm in. I like a good sausage. I can just eat it by itself. Biscuit enhances somewhat, but by itself, the sausage is just great. If you got a little gravy with it, we could crumple that biscuit too, but even crumple up the sausage. Robert hate that. I would love that too. Good morning to you there in Instagram and other places where you're coming in this morning. I hope you've got your cup of coffee this morning or your sausage like Jake, and enjoying your morning thus far on this Saturday before the day even breaks. We're up and at 'em and ready to go today. We'll have a Southern Fried MAGA morning show. I want to talk about the things that Robert's getting ready for. I would say normally he's not even up, but Robert's up and going to the Mayhaw Festival. Jake, he's got to get set up. They have to get up and get their cars out of the square, and then it'll kick off at 10. So he's probably either loading. I think they're already loaded up, but they're either fixing to leave. That's kind of how we say in the South, or they're en route to the Mayhaw Festival in Colquitt, Georgia. We'll be having live coverage from there. I cannot be there, Jake. I had to work. Things changed. One guy got hurt, and another guy lost his ability to do the job. I don't know if he's fired, but he's lost the ability to do his job. So I lost my replacement for the day. I work on Saturdays. I do streams and I work. I'm raising a granddaughter. I do a lot of work. Love my granddaughter. My granddaughters come with prices. So no, I'm not going to be there. I did the Walker games yesterday for the special needs kids, and was anticipating being able to leave around noon and head south, and we wasn't able to do that. So I just headed home. But it's Rob's hometown, pretty much. And he doesn't live right in town, but he lives outside of town. But it's Rob's home. It's his back door, front door, whatever you want to say. And so he's got folks there that can help, and they're helping. He scrambled a little bit, but he's got it covered. Mostly we were okay. Well, I don't think we have a banner because I was bringing the banner. I have two banners. Actually, I have 4 things like that. Well, intending to leave one with Rob when we did this first one, and I'd have one up here. But it just didn't happen. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But the main thing is to be there meeting the people anyway. So yeah. Well, I don't have that in every picture, Jake. I don't have the puppets that the picture showing on screen. So sometimes I do. But you have coffee, Jake? Do you have coffee this morning as well? I am going to talk again in the next show. I'm going to be talking about the press conference that the president had. And some of the things he had to say. Karl Rove was in the news this morning. I could care less what Karl Rove has to say anymore. One time he was pretending to be this really nice far-right conservative. And Karl Rove is is running his mouth a little bit this morning about the president. The people have Trump fatigue already. No, we don't. No, we don't. He said many Republicans and others, he talks about having Trump fatigue. No, sir, we don't. We don't have Trump fatigue. What we do have is Karl Rove fatigue. He used the words exhausted. Many Americans already exhausted by Trump. Karl Rove, you're just looking to be relevant, and you're not anymore. But you still have people that have put you on the camera and probably was paid a little money to come out and say that. He did a guest column. I think he was on TV as well. But he wrote in the Wall Street Journal that much of what Trump has promised, not like this is a bad thing, on the campaign trail is done or has the full attention of his administration, he wrote. Well, duh, absolutely have gotten it done. He said, however, quote, every week, the White House throws its weight around a new issue that went largely or entirely unmentioned during the campaign. What, we can't add to? I mean, if you're kicking butt and you're taking names and you're getting things done, Mr. Rove, can't you not do more? We're not exhausted. We are moving at a fast pace and a speed, but it's things are getting done. So he's now the expert on many Americans. Give me a break, Mr. Rove. You're not the expert on many Americans. He says that, and he mentions rename the Gulf of Mexico. That was mentioned during the campaign. Acquire Greenland, take back the Panama Canal, make Canada the 51st state. Americans find themselves asking, where did that come from? They support the president, you knucklehead. And all of those people have generally been supportive of that follow the president. They joked about it, laughed about it. They said, if it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's funny. Not exhausted. We're just riding the wave. How do you get exhausted on the wave, Carl? It's exhausting to you because you're not relevant anymore. You're not the center of attention here. Nobody's looking at you and your little outlines and boards and stuff that you do like Tim Russert. No, Carl. No, we're not exhausted. I know of no American in my circle of friends and acquaintances that have said to me, Dave, I'm just exhausted with the president so far. I'm just worn out. Are you kidding me, Karl Rove? Most Americans are too busy. They're catching the news and like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. He sent the guy to El Salvador. Great. Oh, the Democrats down there trying to get the guy back. What? Oh, okay. He put a tariff on China. Oh, he upped it. Oh, well, let me go to TikTok. Let me go to, I got to go to work, or I've got to watch my show. I'm on Netflix. No, Mr. Rove, you're wrong. It's a stupid comment. Most Americans are not exhausted with the president. He goes on to say, Trump also vowed to, quote, break inflation. But Rose said that has been replaced by fixation on raising tariffs, which nearly 3/4 of Americans expect to hike prices. We know it's going to hike prices, and what we know is that he's going to win this. Already deals are being cut. He goes, message discipline has never been Mr. Trump's strength. He doesn't avoid drama. He relishes creating it, Rove wrote. He wins the drama. He's always out in front of his enemies. He's always pacing the field. This guy kills me. Mr. Trump seems to feel he's winning only if he dominates the coverage, sets the storyline, advances the narrative, and pulls a surprise or two. Mr. Rove, you knucklehead. It's called being out in front of all these, the legacy media, all your enemies. They had 4 years to plan their moves. They're not just popping them out of a hat. They have actions they want to do. They're trying to move on them as fast as they can. Undoubtedly, yes, because you need to get as much done as you can, be ready for the midterms. Yes, going to move at a fast pace. But exhausted? All I said was if we're moving really fast, there can be things we might have to tweak a little bit as we go because we might run into things they weren't expecting. And so he says exhausted. It won't matter then to the White House aides if some headlines are bad. They can always create another controversy in which Mr. Trump is the center of attention. Shut up. And they believe, therefore, comes out on top. Well, Karl Rove sounds like a little bit of the left crazy, Michael. President Krupski's left crazy. All he's done is played them, and they have fallen for it. Yes, squabbling between each other. I believe everything possible will fall into place while the left loses. Oh, and they're losing. They're losing big time. Well, let me circle back to that in just a second. Let me finish this hit piece by Rove. It's not that long. He says, Rove said that while Trump's most ardent fans have found the past 8 weeks exhilarating, I love his use of adjectives, many Americans have had way too much thrown at them in a short time. Mr. Rove, again, most Americans are not even paying attention to everything that's going on. They're catching the highlights with their morning coffee. They're listening to it here and there and little news breaks that are happening with their favorite shows or morning shows or whatever they're watching, or they're looking at it on their phone and whatever pops up. They're not exhausted. They're not just having so much thrown at them they don't know what to do. My goodness. He says, but being in the non-MAGA world, which includes independents and Republicans, the start of Mr. Trump's second term has been, there he is with that word again, exhausting. They aren't used to this pace, confusion, and incessant combat. Theodore Roosevelt's daughter said her father wanted to be the corpse at every funeral and the bride at every wedding. So does Donald Trump. It isn't obvious that America wants that too, but we know he won't change, Rove concluded. Once again, Karl Rove, shut your pie hole. Is that what you got? You are so off base. Americans are not fatigued. Americans are glad. You know what Americans feel like? We're not moving fast enough. We've got to stop things before the left gets a hold of it and tries to rip it up and stop it. The rogue judges and things. They say put the hammer down more. Let's get it done. Let's go ahead and feel the pain, get it done, be over with, and put these deals in place. No, we're winning. We're kicking butt. That's what happened. You know, did the troops in the first Gulf War, did they use the word exhausted as they crossed the desert and they were crushing the Iraqi army? I mean, just absolutely crushing it from every side imaginable. Were we exhausted as we crossed that? No, we hit them at such a pace you win. That's what you do. You win. You don't give them time to retreat, entrench, fight again. No, you just annihilate. You just obliterate the blockades and stuff in your path. Stupid. And so while all this is going on in the administration, the left, which just can't seem to get on the right side of history at all, they go down to protect this bad dude in El Salvador. Oh, this is a bit like front line, like all of Americans all of a sudden are going to pat them on the back. Oh, good job, Democrats. I mean, way to go take care of this guy. He's such a nice guy, gang member, human trafficker, oh, we got to take care of him. Well, the former ICE director says that he will be removed again if he returns. That's what he says this morning. He accuses the Democrats of grandstanding in the high-profile deportation case of the Maryland man. Well, absolutely they are. They think they got them a hit piece. They think they got them a story that's just going to make all Americans stand up and turn their back on the president. You stupid people. You have nothing. Now, what you may get is some campaign money from your followers, the crazy left. I remind me of the movie, the Crazy Ivan, the subs, in the movie, the crazy moves that the Democrats make. Oh, they'll pour money into that. The Democrats are not united. They think they've got a piece right now. There's a lot of Democrats trying to unite behind this story. It's going to fall flat on their face because they always back the wrong people. Most Americans are not for this dude. The majority absolutely are not for this dude. Once again, you're a day late and $1 short, and you're not being championed. You think you are because you live in a bubble that you think makes you look good. You do not look good. In fact, you look stupid. And that whole stupid move, all the problems we've got in America, all the problems we still need to fix in our cities and stuff, yet they're worried about this guy that's down there where he needs to be. That's your main goal. That is your agenda. We got no problems If you keep that kind of crap all up, just keep it up. The midterms won't be a problem, and neither will the next election cycle for the president. Just keep on doing what you do. That's the one thing you can always count on out of Democrats. They never change. They always keep doing what the left does. They just keep doing, and they just keep doing it worse and worse on a level that is crazy. And Americans just need to stay wise to it and not fall for it, you know. So yeah, Karl Rove, come on, dude. I never trusted that guy. Yeah, he came out at one time. He was the Mr. Conservative, Mr. President, helpful, campaign manager. No, Karl Rove, you are far past. You, sir, have been exposed, and nobody cares what you have to say anymore. Not on a large scale. Karl Rove, your day is over. I mean, there's a lot of talking heads out there that just they hang on. They're hanger-ons. Karl Rove is a hanger-on. He doesn't have the capacity anymore to be out front. So he tries to come out with a hit piece with something he thinks is going to be the wow moment. And the Journal puts it in there for him. And there'll be some libs read it and go, oh, yes, we've got him where we want him. Look, even Karl Rove is against him now. We don't care. Karl Rove has never been the mouthpiece for the conservatives in a long time, maybe ever. But there were times when he probably had many of them fooled. Karl Rove, you are not the spokesman for, and you are not the prognosticator of all prognosticators. Even Punxsutawney Phil could outpredict your predictions. Karl Rove is a loser anymore. And he doesn't speak for the administration, and he doesn't speak for the majority of Americans. Good grief. Trump's opened a high percentage of black people's eyes about the left keeping them down. They absolutely have. And every day more of African Americans are coming to the conservative side because they're concerned about their rights, where they stand, or, they're being left behind. Because they've always taken advantage of that. They've always treated them like they have them in their hip pockets, so to speak. And now they're just straight on coming against them in their values and things that they've always thought that they cared about. More and more are seeing that they are not supported that way. There are many who still believe that the Democrats are their friends and leading them. Yeah, but they're really far left. I tell you, many friends, they don't even tell their family. I've said this before. They don't, but they also are pulling more family members with them as they talk offline. But like they can't tell the old guard, Democrat old guard in their family. They can't tell them. These are generally, now they're not young, but they're not that they're family, and they some of them are a little older like me, but most of them are not. Most of them are younger, and they're coming over center right. And absolutely, because at the end of the day, we want to have a profitable America and everybody doing well and all the opportunities and everything. And they see how they have been treated. And, that I understand it. I predicted for some time, not that I'm a great predictor, but you could see it happening. It was like, they're talking out both sides of their mouth. They've always done them like that, but they got just more pronounced. And when they really fell in love, and it's not a slam job, but when the Democratic Party fell in love with everything, all the Hispanic causes, and trying to bring in the illegals, which were mostly from around the world, but let's be honest, most of them were Hispanic. The African Americans said, hey, what about us? Well, you don't ever talk about us anymore. You don't never say what you're going to do for us, and the communities were changing. In many communities, those traditional African American neighborhoods were flipping into Hispanic neighborhoods, and so the representatives naturally were tending to speak to more to those people of that background, and you could see that happening. And so even Obama even saw this happening. I mean, he kind of was putting on guard and trying to put things into place to stop some of that, but more and more, and they were already. If there was an exhaustion, they were exhausted with Obama, but then they got really exhausted with Biden. They got really exhausted with him. And if you look at the extreme, now some of them do, but there's an extreme left that don't even mention the African Americans. They just take them for granted. They speak on everything else. They're talking about the Muslim community, or I said the Hispanic community, or the illegals, or whatever. They got this, and African Americans are sort of just stuck right there. It's like, well, I've always supported this party, but it's more and more left me. And I wonder if I'm really welcome on the right. And yes, they are. And when they see that, and I've had people tell me that I'm not pulling this out of my rear. I've had them tell this is words I've had and phrases I've had expressed to me from people that said, "Hey, I was wondering if are you a supporter of this?" Goes all the way back to 2016. They would say, "Are you a supporter of President Trump?" And I say, "Well, absolutely, I voted for him." And they would say, "Oh, okay, I did too, but I can't tell my family that." And they would give me the reasons they supported the president. And I said, I can't. My family, a lot of them, there's two or three. He's got a couple of cousins. We've all talked, on the side, but our parents or aunts and uncles, if they knew it, they would be really upset with us and say that we had, kind of done something sacrilege, that we left the. He said, I may not like every Republican out there, which we don't. He said, but he said, I like President Trump. I like him. He speaks to me, and the left doesn't get that. And so, yeah, you're right, Michael. He has that number's been growing, and as well as some of the Hispanic vote also as well, because they were trying to corner the market on all that. It's all a game. It's a shell game. It really is. And way back, I was at the really in the 2016 election. That's when I noticed the Democratic strategy really started leaving. They didn't really speak on the African American causes as much. The platform didn't. It kept it there, but only slightly, and it was noticed. And then going forward, that's why, if you'll notice, that's why Biden was pushing so hard, because he was trying to tap back into that a little bit. That's why he came up with the corn pot story and all that crap. Nobody believed that. If you did, you're foolish. I mean, these whole stories he had where he was trying to, I was always a friend of the African American community. No, you weren't, Bob. But he fooled some. Mostly he didn't. And President Trump's messaging was definitely strong in that way, and was pulling that way. So, and then Kamala is a whole nother story. She's not tapped into that community at all like she thinks she is. And so, yeah, more and more of them pulled away and voted the dreaded R. They would never tell nobody. And that's why, if you go way back, and I'll say this, I probably need to take a quick commercial. If you go way back and you look into those precincts in Philly, remember when they had the groups that were up there that was watching, and they were asking people that were going in, they were asking people that were going in making sure nobody was going to vote Republican. Why were they worried about that? It's the heart of Philly. You know why? Because Black Americans were starting to vote for Trump, and they were trying to control that messaging. They were threatening them as they came in, and nobody really did anything about that. There were people that turned around and went home. There were people that threatened and say, if you vote that way, we'll be visiting you. We know who you are. Voter intimidation. They talk about voter intimidation on the Republican side. Well, they had military, terror groups, militia groups standing in front of voting precincts in Philly, threatening African Americans that were coming in. They felt like was going to try to vote for Donald Trump. Celtic Blacksmith, good morning. It's no joke, Jack. Not kidding around. He did. That dude tried to sell that story. Oh my gosh. It's not like a guy coming around like a door-to-door salesman. He's in like it's because salesmen will chameleon themselves to be whatever you want them to be to sell. I remember once we were buying a car for my son, and the guy was really nice, he's African American, and he saw my son's necklace, which was it had the the Southern battle flag. It was like a choker necklace, he liked, and it wasn't the whole thing, but it had little charms in it, and a couple of them were. And the guy's talking to us, and he goes, "Oh, hey, what's that on your necklace?" And my son says, "Oh, Southern flag." And he goes, "Oh, I just love that flag." And you knew right away he was lying. I just knew it. That's what salesmen do. Well, politicians do that crap too, or used to. Oh, they just chameleon. Oh, yes, I'm for you. Going door to door. Oh, yes. Let me write that down. That'll be at the top of my agenda, ma'am. Don't forget to vote for me. And then they just throw that in the garbage when they got down the road. I mean, that's the old, but Biden goes back to that kind of day. But he did. I mean, you saw those things. He's standing out there and he goes to the black church and it's all lies. I mean, and sadly the old guard, they knew they weren't going to join forces with President Trump. They weren't going to do that. But they welcomed him, but it was a guarded, this last election cycle. It was a guarded welcoming where they even mentioned sometimes, I've explained in no uncertain terms to the president what I expect him to do. I mean, they got even a little more like we're keeping him in line, like he better do what he said he's going to do, but he has our vote. It wasn't the slap on the back kind of thing that it used to be. Biden had lost some credibility even in the old guard down in South Carolina. They put him on notice, and some of them full on shifted to Kamala, and that was funny to see. Celtic last time Dems interfered in his voting post to press Republican voters they were white hoods. Just saying, truth. I mean, yeah, absolute truth. So, there's a history to it. There really is. And, so to Michael's point, there's that number's been changing a little bit. And so I think the African-American vote is something like 17% of the overall vote. It shifts a little bit. It depends on how much people come out and vote, but about 17% of that, I think, or something. It might be higher in some areas, but overall. And so if you pull a few percentage points away, that does have an effect. It may not cause you to win in some areas, but in other areas it might. It really, or it might reinforce that win or whatever. So he could see that. That's why he was saying things like, I might win California, because he did pull a lot of Democrats over. He did the first time. He did the second time. But the numbers are not, extremely high. But there were data points there to suggest that the numbers shifted. And so he could claim that. Good morning, Steve. How are you doing on a Saturday? What does Steve do on a Saturday? Just chill out, hang out, no blacksmithing today, or maybe you go out and you just chill, watch some shows. I know you. I hope you have I hope this Sunday, or Saturday or Friday. The Friday, did you have a live last night? I don't know why I was thinking Sunday, because we were talking about a Sunday live. Did you go live last night? I was busy with other things, and I didn't look and see if you did. But I do. If you did, I'll go back and watch it because I've been missing that. I hope he was able to, since the tranny's fixed. You'll have to go. Usually I lay around like a slug and do nothing, but I gotta get some work done. Oh, that word work. I want to say thanks to my son who come and mowed my grass. Looks great. I appreciate him. He worked last night, but Thursday he got my yard mowed. It was great. Well, that is one way to put that, Michael. I like seeing the left urinating in the wind on everything they do. Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. Welcome to all that are in here. We got quite a few folks coming in. We appreciate you, especially on X. Thank you this morning. Oh, I just love those things that set them off, too, like Drill Baby Drill. It just went crazy. Oh, he did go live. Yeah, went live. You didn't miss much. My heart wasn't at all. Oh, I shut it down after 40 minutes or so. My internet connection is solid now. Yes, I will go watch the 40 minutes, Steve. I'm a follower. I'm a fan. I'll go watch it. If nothing else, just to experience the forge, the sound of the forge, or the look, seeing the flames. I'm a fan. I'm in. I meant to look. We had so many different things going on last night. I was really trying to. I went on with another show, which I don't normally do, but because I missed the morning show, I was broadcasting during that time, during that 40 minutes or so, or most of it. And then I shut down, restarted to do the front porch talking, and so that's why I missed it. But I'm glad the internet. Did you run it? Just run it through, like the cord out to the garage, or Oh, sure. Yeah, we see it. Yeah, Senator of Maryland's planning on running for president. That's why he's grandstanding. Yeah, knucklehead. Go ahead and run. Make our day. Make our day. Run for president. Oh, him and Gavin, or him and Shapiro. Some say Shapiro's going to run now. And what was it? Someone said that he will run and claim that he was attempts were made on his life and try to gain sympathy for that in the next election cycle, which is a horrible thing. And his life was in danger. I mean, that was a horrible thing. Okay, yeah, just ran it out the window like an extension cord, temporary fix. I get it, man. I get it. When we were putting power in the studio here, we were trying to decide what way we was going to do it, and we started to go for the quick, easy. And my son was like, "No, we're gonna dig it. We're gonna get it get it buried and everything because we've had some powerful storms come through, and we were trying to not have anything else up there. We have a couple of trees in the back and stuff, so we ran it that way. It took a little bit longer, but I'm glad we did it that way, and keep it protected that way. So I get it, but yeah, hey, the quick fix, who hasn't done that? It's kind of like a camper. You just float that cord out there and and run it. Power goes out. Somebody, you got a generator. You run that out. I've never owned a generator. I probably should. I don't know why I've never gotten one. I've never had a generator though. I just never have. I've thought about it. I thought about getting one, but I just never have. I guess if I lived a little further out, I probably would. But I would like to get some of the new technology and stuff. It's not new tech, but it's better technology. And I would like to get a lot that there's so much solar stuff now that you can do that is really neat. We got the solar lights and all that, but there's other things you can do. You could do in a quick fix. You can have those that you can actually use the solar on. So those are pretty cool. So I'd like to get I used to be a ham operator, but I'll let my license go. I still like to get emergency radio and stuff because disasters do come and could come, and in the future could be major. We just don't know. That could be because of things that happen in the world. So and this power grid that's in America has problems. I mean, it's certainly the electrical grid in many parts of the nation has a lot of problems. So I would want to be hooked up and prepared for a couple of weeks or maybe even longer to be able to, you got your little stoves and stuff, grills and stuff you can do. So even I've got one. Even if I had to, I could gather wood or something, if I had to. But it's nice to have options. You just want to be prepared for stuff like that. They used to laugh at the preppers. Remember back when they laughed at them? Oh, he's a prepper. He's up in the woods somewhere, storing up for the disaster to come. People don't laugh at that as much anymore. In fact, very few. Only loony lefties probably laugh at that. But I wonder how many of them are building the bunkers. A lot of your leftists are building the bunkers. They've got the little, safe room underground. Some of the rich and elites, that's become a leftist playground, is to prepare like that. Steve says, I have a 300-watt solar pack. Cool. And a 100-watt foldable panel for emergencies. Just for little stuff like phones, lights, there. It won't run a fridge, but it'll keep little stuff going. That's kind of what I want to do. Yeah. I would like to do something like that. I just need to get there. I haven't done it, but I've thought about it because we've had some, even if it's just storm damage, we've had a lot more and powerful storms coming through our area, seemingly than we did closer together than I ever remember. I don't know if the jet stream has changed directions down. I think it dipped down and kind of went right through us, something. I don't know, but Michael's in the area. He can say that. I mean, it just seems like, and we're not, we're just, getting in the heart of these storms, and the summer storms will be coming. And we've already had some pretty killer storms coming through. So yeah, I'd kind of like to be a little bit more prepared like that. But I thought about getting a full load one too. I saw a friend of mine had one for sale, and it wasn't actually bad. But I would like to do that. Cool. During the first wars, you could create radio-free cornbread underground. Absolutely. That's a good idea. This is Dave and the AM Radio Free Cornbread coming to you from the Southern Fried Bunker. Can you hear me out there? No, I didn't didn't watch a show, Jake, but I will be glad to. I'll go back and look at it. I saw you put that up earlier, but I would like to. Leftists crack me up when they post videos about survival gear. I imagine them running into the woods with a backpack full of these, aka teddy bears and clips, so they can stand there and scream, "Ah!" Oh, yeah, they're about as prepared to run into the woods as Biden is. I mean, just imagine the left would be eating each other if within Bel Air and places, they would be eating each other up, destroying each other, for survival. It would be like a new reality show. We go live from California. We're on the Pacific Coast. California liberals are in the streets fighting, slapping each other. I have to have power. My phone is dead. We're running out of water. It's Trump's fault. Don't you just love it when you see leftist fights? I like to see them fight, but when they try to fight, it's always weak. They curse a lot and scream, slap. They'd be looking for a place to plug in their phones and complain that there's no Starbucks. Yeah, that would be survival time for them. There's no Starbucks. What am I going to do? My phone is dying. Oh, man. They have a whole different set of values, that's for sure. Oh, you got Jake laughing. Mississippi. Yeah, the survival, the prepper, the lefty prepper. They've got the little room in their basement or something, Oh, we're prepared. We're preparing for in case the president destroys us. We've got our room. We've got one area just for meditation, yoga. Oh, well, of course she's going to say that, Michael. Oh, yeah. That's the left way. We didn't do nothing wrong. It's all made up. It's all a story. It's racism. They're trying to take us down. Just like they always done. It's always that way. They always claim it's fabricated. It's disinformation. Well, we never did nothing like that. Are you kidding me? We're good people. I mean, we don't break the law. We enforce the law. No doubt. Oh my God. The Target is closed. I can't go. My wife, bless her heart, every Christmas she would drag me to the Target. That's about the only time I ever went in there. I boycotted it many times because of their company policies. My wife would say, "There's something at Target I want to get. Your sister at Target." And I'm like, "Really?" I would, you just kind of buckle in and you're like, "Okay, we're going shopping. Let's go shopping. Let's get it over with." I'm all for, just putting the head in the, facing in the wind. What's the plan? Oh, we got the plan. We go here. I kind of time it out because other traffic is going to be bad. So we go get all of our shopping done. And she would say, Target. I'd be like, no, not Target. No. I mean, it's like I would fight through hell rather than go to Target. And so we'd go there and you're walking around and that place just creeps me out. I'm serious. Walking through there and some of the people, just having to deal with it. People are looking at you like, it's almost like they're sizing you up like, yeah, you look like MAGA. You're not supposed to be here. You can see him whispering, he's on my aisle. I need to go look. there's something I want to buy there, but there's a MAGA guy over there. That's the way they make me feel. Oh, Michael, they're making up a deal that the Gen Z is coming down to make coffee like they invented it. No doubt. Oh, man. I wondered how the left would respond if, like, the Chinese or Russians were landing in their community. Like, they were the parachuting in, the commandos, they're just massive, soldiers coming down out of the sky. Yeah, imagine how they would react. Would they run and hide? Would they welcome them, try to bring out, oh, we're welcome. Welcome to America. We're so glad you're here. As they're getting shot. It's like, wow, we're your friends. We love you people. We're the good people here. We're friends. We don't want to fight. We're friends. And they're demanding them to, where's your weapons? Well, we don't have any of those. We're all of God's creatures are our friends. Welcome. Would you be your fellow commandos? Would you like to, we'll cook for you. We'll call in. We'll get some call out. We'll take care of you. You're welcome to stay at our estate. Oh, we're just taking it. I mean, they're so stupid. I mean, they would be like, it's great. They'd be out there cheering. Yay, the Chinese are here. Oh, look at them coming in. Goodbye, America. And then, they're dead and in work in concentration camps, slavery camps. They'd be like, what happened? We're your friends. Why would you do us this way? Oh, my gosh. Can you just imagine? That's the sadness of it. I mean, it's like they just think. Like, I remember one of them. I think it was Kamala. It was Kamala or one of them. I can't remember it. It was her or one of them. And they said, oh, it's all about the jobs. If we'll just get the terrorists some jobs, if we'll get them some jobs in the Middle East, the killing would stop today. They just need a job. They don't have a job. If we could get them a little job, they could take care of themselves. They would make money. We give them some educational opportunities, and that's just what we got to do. We got to invest. We got to bring jobs. It's all about the jobs. We're the Democrats. We bring jobs. Are you kidding me? Do you really think you're just going to plop down the 7-Eleven, the Starbucks, and all that? Hey, come on. We got applications to get you a job. Lay down your weapons, friends. We're here to give you some jobs, and all that's going to stop the kill. I mean, they're stupid that way. It's like the ABC personality. What was her name? It was in Japan during the Fukushima, and she's, oh, y'all recycle. Y'all recycle. That's so sweet. I love it that you recycle. Well, yeah, you're right, Spartan. I will agree with you there that they don't need to parachute in. It's just the thought of it. I think of those movies, But yeah, they do come in and are buying land and things. So you're right, Spartan. Absolutely right. But it's the Red Dawn thing. I think of Red Dawn. So at one time, MAGA guys were going around to leftist homes trying to get them to house migrants. That showed the hypocrisy. Yeah. Oh man, we fixed so much. Karl Rove, we have fixed a lot of things, but Mr. Karl Rove, there's still so much to be fixed. I mean, we've scratched the surface to what needs to be fixed. No. Well, I mean, there's a lot of places that there are a lot of things that the Americans do bow the knee to. Spartan, they sure do. So happy Easter weekend. I hope that you find your a place of worship tomorrow. Many of you may do sunrise services. That's a very popular thing. Rove is like Bolton. Yeah, he is. I can't stand that guy, Karl Rove. I just don't even want to see him on TV. I'm so tired of that guy. His flame shot up and down really fast. but he has showed his true colors more than once. So Karl Rove, shut up. Oh, but yeah, find you a place of worship. Um, let's celebrate this weekend, and what it represents is absolutely wonderful. That the risen Savior. If you're not a Christian, not here to disrespect your belief systems, but this is the weekend that we celebrate, and we celebrate the risen Savior every day because it is to be celebrated every day. But this is the weekend that we really celebrate that, and the debt is paid. And all we must do is accept this free gift that Christ offers, and the services tomorrow will be special. They're all special, but this one has a little bit extra something to it, and there'll be a lot of special programming. I'm sure there used to be some folks that would do a live scene here, and even in Chattanooga, they would be in the East Ridge area. I don't know if they'll be doing that today. Sometimes I'm going to work on the Saturday before, you will see that. And there used to be a guy that'd be up on the cross, just representing. You look like Jesus, but he would see that. And so a lot of activities around the world. And I pray there's peace. You hate to hear mass killings on Easter Sunday, but we're going to have a lot of programming on through the weekend today and into tomorrow, and especially the Mayhaw Festival. Rob will be coming live from Colquitt here after a while. This thing don't kick off till 10, so I'm sure sometime 10 or a little after he'll be on. I'm going to take a break, and I've got a couple things to do, but I'll be back with Southern Fried MAGA show here shortly. We'll talk about the president's press conference and some other things. Thank you for all being here. We appreciate all of you. You're a blessing to us. Thank you for those that are following an X and Rumble and different things. We appreciate that so very much. Your support is amazing. And we appreciate your support of other fellow podcasters out there on Rumble side, especially, who are just excellent. Just love watching them. That's the other thing if I could wish for something, it'd been have more hours in the day that I could capture all of the shows that I would like to watch. I try to watch as many as I can and catch as much of each broadcast as I can. But sometimes it's not possible. But I do go back and watch older shows. But there's some excellent podcasters out there, and I really enjoy watching them for their entertainment, their knowledge. They get me fired up. Sometimes it's very heartfelt kind of programming. We try to cover a full gamut here too of different things and give you many things to look at. Thanks for all those that's been here this morning. Steve, get your work done. Michael, enjoy your morning, and have a great Saturday. The weather's going to be beautiful, at least in our area of this great country, and hope yours is as well. We'll be back on soon, I promise. Going to run and get a couple things for my wife, and then take care of her, and we'll be back on soon, very soon. I'll be broadcasting pretty much live all the way up till about 12:30. I'll turn it over to Rob. We'll still be broadcasting. Rob will be, but I will be departing for work, and we'll chime back in through the broadcast from work here and there. So, and that will all end around 3-ish, 3-ish, somewhere in there. So we'll have a good 4 hours or so. We're going to catch the parade. I think that's first thing. I always like a good parade. We'll see what Colquitt has put together for the Mayhaw Festival parade. I hope all that works out. It's a lot of moving parts today, so we hope that all that will work out. It's our attempt, and so we're learning as we go, and Rob's learning, and he was anticipating me being there helping with that. So I'm helping from afar. I'm not right there. So, well, that takes half a day. You got to decide which things you need to work on. And you make a list, and it's like, maybe. And then by the time you get through the list, you take a little nap or decide to watch a program or piddle with something. Like, oh, man, it's noon already? I haven't done anything. Then you run around a restaurant and get a few things done so you can actually say you did some work. Yeah. Well, once you lock into something, maybe you just stay dedicated to it. So I guess Rumble Studio is telling me I need to go because it was trying to collapse on me. So I am going, though. There it is, back in Rumble Studio, giving me a hard time this morning. Sorry about that. Every once in a while we lose a connection between the stream. But anyway, I'll be back in a bit, not long. Salute to you. Happy Saturday. God bless you. We'll see you soon. Dave in the AM here, the Southern Fried Patriot.